A federal judge ordered that the notorious alligator Alcatraz be shut down within 60 days. In the meantime, no more detainees can be sent there, and any expansion at the facility must stop. This suit was brought on by environmental groups who argued the construction of the detention facility in the Everglades bypassed environmental laws. In her 82-page ruling, the judge sided with the plaintiffs, saying Florida officials never sufficiently explained why an immigration detention center needed to be located in the middle of sensitive wetlands. Joining us now, Alora Mukherjee, Director of Immigrants' Rights Clinic at Columbia Law School. Alora, always good to have you on with us.
Thank you for having me.
So if this facility is shut down, what happens to all of the people who are inside?
The Department of Homeland Security is going to need to figure out how to transfer the immigrants who are detained at Alligator Alcatraz to other facilities across the country. This will be challenging because immigration detention facilities across the country are already over capacity and are way over capacity in some areas. And this is also a sign to the administration that although Congress has allocated $45 billion for immigration detention in the big, beautiful bill, that it might not be as easy as the administration wanted to set up new detention facilities and create additional bed space for detaining and then deporting individuals.
Does it matter that the reason why there was this decision was because of environmental regulations, that the detention facility, this Alligator Alcatraz, did not meet or did not have the, environmental approval in order to build in the Everglades? I believe it was something along those lines, and not about the humane aspect of the actual facility and what is happening to the people inside?
Win is a win.
That's what I would
a win is a win, but I wonder, maybe another way of asking it is it a flimsy decision that can ultimately still allow Alligator Alcatraz to exist if they address these environmental regulations?
It's a great question. So Alligator Alcatraz was built by the state of Florida, and Florida claimed that it wasn't bound by federal environmental protection laws. So this was an effort to build an immigration detention center by skirting federal environmental protection laws. And the decision says you can't do that. If you are carrying out federal functions, and if this is basically operating as an entity of the federal government, you must comply with federal environmental protection laws. So this is sending a signal to any entity that is considering whether to build an immigration detention center that, yes, you must abide by federal environmental protections.
I'd like to dig a little bit deeper on that. So basically, federal law regarding the environment and environmental protections is stronger than our human rights law. Is that where the conditions inside Alligator Alcatraz? Look, detainees, extreme heat, insects, lack of food, and functioning toilets. But so the environment triumphs over human beings. Not that I'll take the win, but
unfortunately, conditions in immigration detention centers across the country, including for children, including for families, have been inhumane and degrading, not just under this Trump administration, but for decades. And there are lawsuits that seek to protect the rights of immigrants in detention. For example, the lawsuit that was recently successful here in New York at 26 Federal Plaza. But this environmental win shuts down the facility, and there are few immigration lawsuits based on humanitarian reasons that are able to shut facilities down.
Can I ask you about this new facility coming apparently in Nebraska? Cornhusker Clink, that's what we're hearing from federal officials, DHS. The name, just how flippant they've been about all of this. Alligator Alcatraz, of course, sort of in the same category of making light, making a joke out of human beings being detained. What did you think of when you heard of this site?
It's appalling. We're talking about largely individuals who are law-abiding, many of whom came to the United States with permission, with parole, who have forms of legal status available to them, such as temporary protected status. And the administration is carrying out raids at a rate that is unprecedented in U.S. history, destroying families, destroying communities, destroying businesses, and instilling fear in immigrants nationwide. It is a very, very low moment that we're in right now. And it's more important than ever that Americans across party lines speak out and band together to say this is not American, this is not what we want the future of our country to be.
Can I get your thoughts really quickly on Kilmer Abrego Garcia and the idea that the government wants to deport him to Uganda after they offered him a potential plea deal, but to go to Costa Rica instead? Let me play for you what his lawyer said, and then I'll get your reaction to it on the other side. Watch.
The government designated Uganda as the country of removal. It is preposterous that they would send him to Africa, to a country where he doesn't even speak the language, a country with documented human rights violations, when there are so many other options. This family suffered enough. They need to stop trying to separate them. Everything that they've done to Mr. Abrego Garcia, they've done it for one reason, which is that he had the temerity to exercise his constitutional rights.
Your thoughts on not just the comments by the lawyer there, but the attempt by the government to send this man to a country that has known human rights abuses and has no cultural or linguistic affiliation to?
This is unprecedented for the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Justice to coordinate in this way to send an individual to a third country that he has no ties to after he has been granted withholding of removal in the United States. The executive branch is trying to claim unfettered power to deport people out of the United States, and Mr. Kilmer Abrego Garcia's case is one tragic example of this.
All right, Alora Mukherjee, thank you so much. It's always great to have you here.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.